kind words that y'all said about me. Cause like you said, sometimes hard to teach and we put out so much to let somebody pour into us, but we all need our cup filled.
Yeah. Right.
But I decided again. I told you why I started the brunch. And the reason it is leaving the tune is because my story goes further than the brunch. I've actually named a few tunes, and I've named them shame, I've named them silence, depression, identity loss, and betrayal, because those are things that I dealt with in my life. And then I lost myself, and that's why I spoke to you, because so often I was married prior. I was married for about 15 years, and I'm gonna share something here that my kids don't even know, but they're old enough now to where I even let them in because I protect them so much, because that's what you do as a mother. But I had lost who I was in that marriage, and I would talk to other women, and they would tell me how they have lost themselves. I think my biggest tomb, so you asked what tomb I crawled out of, all five that I named. I've been silenced when my voice wasn't used because I lost my voice. I allowed somebody to take it from me. Shame, because of the things that I had done, I allowed that to bury me and thought that I could never be used. Identity loss, I've talked about. Betrayal, it was my betrayal not only to myself, not only to my marriage, but also to God. And depression was the biggest. That is the one. So that's why I thank April for her hand in mental health, because depression is what had a hold on me, but depression also brought about my purpose. So in my season of go through, there was a birth of books. But to back up some, I'll go back to being married and losing my identity and dealing with depression. There was a point in my depression where I even tried to take my life. I have another daughter. She's not here. I wish she was here, because she is the thing that actually God used to actually save me. I was at my mom's house because after I had my girls, I was overwhelmed. I moved back home. I was not trying to do that with 3 kids and 2 that were only 15 months apart. So I moved back home, and I spent a lot of time at my mom's house because my mom is my safe. That's where I felt comfortable. I don't care where I was going, I don't care what I was doing in life. I knew if I went to my mom's house, I was gonna feel comfortable, and I knew she was gonna take a baby, take one. So I was at my mom's house, and I put my girls in the room. I think my mom had gone to work. And at that moment, I decided this was the moment I was gonna take my life. But I had to think about how this would look if I take my life. So I need all my girls to be in a room together, and I don't know if anybody else has thought about how that would look, but you do. You go through the process of who's gonna find me, how does this look, and what's gonna happen. And because I was so ashamed of everything that I had been through, and I felt like I couldn't see God or trust God, the only option to me was to take my life. And so I had pills in my hands, and I decided this is where I'm gonna do this in my mom's bathroom, which wouldn't have been fair to you. Now that I think about it, wouldn't have been fair to her. But as I had the pills in my hand and I sat there and I thought about everything, I said, all right. I actually got to the point where I was about to put the pills in my mouth, and my daughter that's not here actually knocked at the door. And when she knocked at the door, something in me jumped. And then she called me who God called me to be. She said, Mommy. And it spoke to something in me. And I waited a little bit because I was like, okay, she'll go away. She didn't go away. She knocked again. And she said, Mommy. And in the moment that she called me Mommy, I realized my purpose was bigger than me taking my life, because I didn't give myself my life. And it wouldn't have been fair to my girls for me to take my life. So I had to stand up, and I had to, I'm not gonna say I was completely healed after that, because I did throw the pills in the toilet. I did open the door, and I did tell God that, yeah, I can do this. I can continue to live, because I got to live for my girls. my girls are attached to whatever I do. So I have to live for my girls. But I struggled so much in my marriage. I would sit at night and I had no where to lay my burdens, so I would write. I would write on the computer. I would cry and write all night long. But in the morning when you saw me, I was happy. I knew how to look happy. I was a Sunday school teacher. My husband at the time was a minister. And when we walked in church, you would have never known we had issues or that there was cracks in our marriage. So when we did get a divorce, everybody was surprised. Even my mom. Because she was like, y'all always look happy. I learned how to look happy. If you go to church, they tell you how to look happy. They will teach you how to look happy. You cover your husband. You don't let anybody know what's going on in your house. But sometimes what's in your house will hurt you. What's in your house will be the very thing that's tearing you up on the inside, but because you want to be so pleasing to God and people, we will stay in that. But God didn't create us to be unhappy. And so even after I got out of my marriage, and please don't take anything from it, because I will tell people, my kid's father is a good man, just wasn't mad for me. We both had some issues in that marriage. It's in a book. We both had some issues in that marriage. I had fault, he had fault, but it's okay. I came through that. And that's why I'm like, the tombs that have women silenced so much, I want to be able to encourage them to come out, to let them know you don't have to stay there. You don't have to stay where people think they left you because they thought they left Jesus in the tomb. But when they went back, he was out of it. There's freedom in your voice. There's freedom in you getting out what's going on the inside. So connect to people. You don't have to carry your burdens by yourself. If it might be writing, journal. I don't care what it is, get that out. And then allow God to use that very thing. Because sometimes we see it as a hindrance. And I would have never known that depression would be the thing that actually catapulted me into who. So what the devil thought was for bad, God turned it around and used it for my good. Yeah. So I can stand and I can tell women constantly, your go through is not just for you. Because you don't know who else is going through what you are going through. And that's why I'm big now too. Like Joy said, use your voice. Talk to other women. See what they're going through. See how y'all can actually link. And when you get with women, know who you're linking yourself to. Yes, because you don't want to hear your business back out.
Yes,
that's right.
Yeah. You need somebody you can actually confide in. And then they're going to pray for you.
Yes.
She spoke on her godmother. One thing I loved about her godmother is we were friends for almost 20 years before she passed away. But she was my friend because she called me on my bull crap. And then after she called me on my bull crap, she'll say, now Rena, let's pray. And I would say, I don't want to pray with you because like you got to be you told me I was right. I didn't call you for you to tell me I was wrong. I needed you to tell me I was right. But I love that about her because she held me accountable. And then not only did she hold me accountable, she prayed with me and vice versa. So I lost a sister in losing her, but God provided me with someone else, her mom. And I absolutely love her mom because when you connect yourself to the right people and you start walking in your purpose, they're your biggest cheerleaders. So it might hurt to lose people, but the people God has for you, the game is so much greater. Even in losing my marriage, I used to say, I'm never getting married again. And I told my mom, I said, I'm gonna become a nun.